Hello, everybody. Welcome to Kacistush TV. I'm your host, Kacistush. Oh my God, I am actually live. This is my first time trying out this feature on my YouTube. I've done lives before, but I've done it on IG. I've never done a live on my YouTube. So I must admit I have a little nerves, even though I'm fearless, but I do got a little nerves. I'm just gonna be real with you. So as the headline suggests, we're gonna be talking about unwed pregnancies, and it seems to be a trend now. It seems to be a thing, and I want to talk about it. We're gonna be having our guest joining us later on. She'll be with us in a moment, so gonna give her a little time to join in. For those who are new to this platform, please go ahead and subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. Also, just a little background on this channel. Now, it's a social commentary channel. I talk about just about every and anything, but my main focus or my main interest is around Black culture, relationships dynamic, what else, how to be our best selves, best versions of ourselves, how to think independently and critically, how to think outside of the box. And I focus on things that affect regular people like myself, so that's what this channel is about. It's a social commentary channel. We talk about Black culture, we talk about popular trends, and I am known to have the most unpopular beliefs. I tend to go against the grain, because I don't like to follow the crowd. I don't like to fall in line, and I'm a critical thinker and I'm very analytical. So I don't have the mainstream views on a lot of things. And I think that's why a lot of people are gravitating to this channel. So go ahead, get those likes up as we wait on our guests to join. So let me just set the premise for the conversation that we're going to be having. It's a very open discussion. I'm going to invite people from the live to, share their views, their thoughts, ask questions, whatever the case may be. It's a non-judgmental zone. We are not taking any sides here. We are just going to speak openly and candidly about the topic. All right. So I think we have our guest ready to join in. Let me get my honey bunny here. Okay. Hello. Hi. Hello, lovely lady. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling much better.
Perfect. I'm so happy to hear that.
Coffee.
Oh, you're drinking coffee?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that normally does the trick.
Mm-hmm. How are you?
I'm doing great. I'm glad you were able to join us. Thank you for joining, of course. Are you hearing me? Are you hearing me clearly?
Yes, I am. Pretty good.
You are. Okay, perfect. And let me just set the tone. This is my first YouTube live. I've done lives before, but this is my first. You basically have been around the block because I think you have done a couple lives on your platform, right?
Yep.
Okay, great. So let's start by just introducing yourself just a little bit briefly and how we met.
All right. So I'm new to YouTube and I was just searching around looking for some girls, some ladies who I thought would be candid and honest and someone I could see myself conversing with just on a regular basis. But that are content creators. And so when I stumbled across your page, I said, oh, she seems like my type. This is my type of girlfriend. Like I could talk to her. We can hang out, we can have discourse. We can agree on things. We can just have our girl talk, So when I saw your page, I really thought, I was like, this girl, she's the one. So I hit you up. I was so excited when you hit me back. I was so excited. I was like, she's so nice. And you were even better once we started conversing. So I do appreciate your warmth and openness and welcoming nature to me. I appreciate you.
Thank you so much. And, I feel so honored that, I was able to impact you in that way, because when I saw the comments, I was like, who's this pretty girl reaching out to me? I was flattered, honestly. And, we need more of that type of energy, Black women building up each other, not being jealous, just like being happy for another sister, and I must say that I am really appreciative of our, relationship thus far. And we share a lot of views on a lot of things, because I think we are like the two main persons who are like supporting Kevin Samuels right now. When I check the YouTube, like we are the main ones that are, supporting a lot of his ideologies. I mean, we would have had conversations about the stuff that we are not totally in agreement with. It's not like we're looking up to him as God, or like everything that comes out of his mouth is gospel. But we do subscribe to a lot of his ideologies. So, with that being said, again, I want to thank you for your time and for joining. And we're gonna have lots of fun. We're just gonna just act like it's just the two of us and nobody's watching. Just like how we would have our regular conversations. That's how I want us to treat this. So, without further ado, we're just gonna dive right in, because we live in a generation where everybody is ADD. So, all right. So, as the topic suggests, we're gonna be talking about unwed pregnancies. And just how we feel about it, bounce off ideas. And we're not casting any blame, no judgment. This is a no judgment zone, to the best of our ability. So I was on YouTube the other day, and I stumbled across a post from a young lady that I follow. Her name is BTaylor. And I've been following her for a while. Very positive young lady like ourselves. And she recently got pregnant with her second child. So she has been posting, regularly on her YouTube, keeping her followers, up to date with her pregnancy journey. And I saw where she posted a comment that probably a subscriber, I don't know who it is, but somebody posted a comment under her post, and it wasn't the nicest thing to say, per se. I'm gonna try and see if I can share screen. Lord G, here we go. But did you see the comment, Brittany?
I did see the comment.
Okay. Why am I calling you Brittany though? You're Megan. Okay. Let me share the screen. But yeah, it was not a very pleasant comment. And I mean, before I even share the screen, as a fellow YouTuber, have you gotten any kind of negative, or maybe not so kind comments? Have you started experiencing that as yet?
Absolutely.
You have? Okay. And how do you deal with something like that? How do you deal with that?
So when I started YouTube, of course, I knew trolls were going to come out and troll at their best abilities. Um,
Mhm.
and so I'm all for it. But I think that every comment counts. So you guys, so the more comments, the more I might get in, an algorithm, the more dislikes. I'm fine with all the criticism. But I will say, I'm sure there are people who have a harder time dealing with that, and I certainly understand it. And I think that the bigger your platform is, the more heat you will take. So of course, I think that if you repetitively see those kind of comments, they're probably more impactful. But for me, I knew what I was signing up for. So um, yeah, I
Perfect.
say a thin line between love and hate. So
Exactly. And I mean, our haters are our biggest fans. That's how I look at it.
yeah,
So, I mean, I think that once you start getting, somebody said this to me, a friend of mine said this to me actually when I got my first mean comment. And the person said, hey, congratulations, you've arrived. It's a sign that you are growing. Exactly. So, I mean, and also it helps too with your self-esteem and your self-confidence, because it's like a tester. The less triggered you are by these comments, it shows growth.
Yeah.
It shows that you believe in yourself, and you're growing a thick skin, which you need for YouTube. So
Yeah.
yeah, so yeah, girl, I'm gonna get into it later. I've gotten some. Oh, you saw some of the comments,
Yeah.
like,
I was not happy about that.
oh, what?
I was not happy about what people were.
Right?
I don't
Oh my
like.
god. These
But I
comments were like,
you have thicker skin than me, so I know if I can handle it, you got it in the bag. So
oh, girl, trust me, it was not an overnight thing. It was not an overnight thing. Like, I had to go into deep meditation.
okay,
I had to be like, listen, because sometimes, I mean, we're human. Some things do sting,
absolutely,
and especially when you're going to get personal. And I asked myself, I said, Shauna, are you ready for this? Because the bigger you get, the worse it's going to get.
yeah.
Because if you look on those huge mega YouTubers, when you look on their like and dislike ratio, there's a lot of dislikes on some of these videos, and I'd be asking myself, like, what's there to dislike? I don't get it.
People have their image of you, and that if they're gonna like you or they're not, and so once they dislike you, it's really no coming back from that. So they just continue to
Yes.
hit the dislike button. But hey, all support.
Exactly. All right, not just stray. For those who are joining, because I see the numbers going up, welcome to Kacistush TV and welcome to this live. You are being joined by myself, Casey, and my lovely guest, Megan. And we will be talking about unwed pregnancies, which seem to be a growing trend, right? And we're just going to have a very open, honest, non-judgmental conversation about it. For the basis of the conversation, we're going to be using BTaylor, who is a fairly popular YouTuber like herself. She talk a lot about healing from bad breakups. She talk a lot about knowing your self-worth, and just a lot of feminine conversations and things that affect feminine women on a daily basis. I think I should have tagged her stuff, but I guess I can do that after the show. So she recently got pregnant outside of wedlock. She has not been married as yet, and this would be her like baby number 2. And she has been coming under some fire for getting pregnant, and we are going to be talking about that. Now, she posted a comment. Well, she made a post the other day rather, and a few persons, didn't take too kindly to it, and they were making some very mean, judgmental comments along the lines of, oh, why did you? This is nothing to be proud of. Getting pregnant, baby number 2. I mean, you should have gotten married. Some stuff of the sort. No, I am going to try and share some of these comments so you guys can see what I'm talking about. Let me go here. I think I sent you them, didn't I, Megan?
Yeah.
All right, they should be in the sent box. Bear with me, guys. Sent. Okay, some of the screenshot. Okay. All right, so this was what she posted. Okay. All right. Are you guys seeing the screen now? Are you seeing the screen, Megan?
I am.
You are?
Yeah.
Okay.
It maybe looks like it's far away.
Like Zoom. Okay. Is that better?
Yeah.
Oh, Lord, it's
There
too
we go.
much. Okay, so that was the comment that sorry, I keep saying comment. That's the post she made a few days ago. So she's like, it's always miserable people out there who want to life. What?
No, I was saying, can you zoom in? That's good. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and just scroll, I guess.
Okay. Are you seeing it better now? Okay, so for the purpose of the viewers, because we've seen this already, right? So this is really just for the purpose of the viewers. This was the comment the YouTuber made. You guys can just take a quick glance at it. Pretty much she's saying that, it's pretty much miserable, unhappy people who tend to throw blows on other people and come up with these negative comments. And she did a screenshot of the actual comment that the person made. Let me see if I can find the comment. Okay. Here we go. Did I lose it? I really want you guys to see the comment because I want persons to chime in and give me their views on the comment. Was it out of line? Was it a sincere comment? Like what?
You want me to found it? You want me to read it?
Yeah, can you share? You want to share your screen or you want to read it? Because I don't want to spend too much time on this, and clearly I'm not as versed as
Well, I
I.
have problems all the time. I was going to say, is it the comment that said, "No, I'm not happy that you're on baby number 2"? That again?
No, the original comment. There was an original comment that she screenshot. I thought I sent it to you. Or you know what? Let me use my phone. Let me use my phone because I thought I had sent it to you. Stop screen. Okay. Let's see if I can find it on my phone. Because there were other people commenting and saying, "But I don't see anything wrong with what the subscriber said." Like I agree with her because there were a lot of people who were in agreement. Let me see. Hold on a second. Oh, it's actually in here. Yeah. Oh my God. Screenshot. All right, so we're almost there. Okay, here we go. So this is the comment. I don't know if you guys can see it. Can you see that, Megan? No?
Yeah, I can see it.
You can see. So I'm gonna keep it there for a little while so the viewers can actually see it. Okay, so pretty much what it's saying, so that we don't waste too much time on this. So pretty much what the responder said: "No, I'm not happy that you are with baby number 2 without a ring. Do better, sis. You should know better than this." That's what the comment was. In your opinion, Megan, what do you think about that comment? Do you think it was a mean comment? Do you think it was a constructive criticism? Was it, like, what do you think? Because she screenshotted it and she highlighted what the person said.
So I think that, like, as a YouTuber, as a content creator, that these people, your audience, they watch you. They kind of build a relationship with you and they see your history, right?
Mm-hmm.
So this person may be a long time subscriber. They watched her, I haven't watched too many of videos of hers, but they may have, background on how she was had her first child and how she had to really pick herself, put herself back together during that situation. And so that person may be just honestly disappointed that you've put yourself in this position yet again. And regardless, if it's not supporting her, I
Yeah.
think that honesty is more important than anything. And it's just someone's point of view.
Right, right. I agree. I think that as a YouTuber, you have to mentally prepare yourself to know that there are going to be persons who have bought into you and they buy into everything that you're saying. And a lot of persons, because she deem herself as an influencer, because even when you go on her YouTube page, she deem herself as an influencer, and as an influencer there are certain responsibilities that we are bestowed. So I think that it would be naive of any of us to think that They're not going to be persons who are disappointed when we make certain decisions that are not in keeping with our mantra. And I think that she has a mantra. If you look on her videos, a lot of her content is centered around knowing your worth as a woman, not settling, how to heal from a breakup, so to speak. So not giving your all to a man without him showing some form of commitment. So I think genuinely, that particular subscriber might have been really disappointed.
Right.
The choice of words, though, I mean, anyone would be a little offended there.
I get
Um, Go ahead.
I thought it was all truth. He said the person, he or she said,
Yeah.
baby number two, that's correct.
Mm-hmm.
That yet again, I mean that's correct. Without a ring, that's correct.
Mm-hmm.
You know better than this. Maybe that part right there is a little, but at the same time, if you look at society,
Mm-hmm.
families, people, children are part of the family construct. And when I say family, I mean husband and wife
Right.
under the same roof, So that is, to me, I think I don't think there was no lies really told in that comment.
Mm-hmm.
But is it, sometimes your mom told you if you don't have anything nice to say, you don't have to say it at all, right?
Exactly. Okay, so we have a comment here from Lauren Marie. Her thoughts is that the comment was uncalled for, but that doesn't mean it isn't true. It is a general issue, though. We have more baby showers than weddings nowadays. Wow, well said there, Lauren. I like that comment. She does have a point. You know, just lead right back into what you just said. If you don't have anything good to say, don't say anything. But if you do say something, does it mean that it doesn't have some kind of worth? Because I mean, let's face it, we're not dumb. That person who made a comment knew that BTaylor was not going to take that kindly, and it's gonna hurt. It's gonna hurt, but I mean, good things come with some level of pain sometimes. So
Yeah,
um
I ask you this though. So
mhm,
with someone pointing this out, saying this to her, does
yeah.
that for me, I
Hmm.
think we have far detached ourselves from standards. I think
Hmm.
the person is trying to signify that we need standards, which is
Right.
true. Which is
Right.
and to me, you can say what you want,
Hmm.
but just understand that other people are going to. Well, I'm sorry, you can make the decisions you want, but just understand that it doesn't not necessarily align up with other people's standards, and just be prepared for kickback.
Right. I think the person had good intention, but I just think it was the way in which it came across. um so just to keep with the questions that we've discussed, should she have answered the subscriber? What do you guys think? I'm throwing this out to not just Megan, but to those who are watching. Feel free to give your response in the chat. Let us know what you think. Do you think she should have just ignored the comment and just keep it moving, or do you agree that she was operating within her right? She screenshotted the comment, she posted it on her on the platform for those to give their take. So what do you guys think about that? I mean, I'll give my thoughts eventually, but I'd love to hear what you guys, the viewers, what you guys think about that. Um, Let me see. Comment. But yeah, Lauren, what do you think? Let's start with you. What do you think about that? Do you think she should just let it slide, or you think you agree with her that she should have addressed the comment?
Are you talking to me? I'm sorry.
Yeah. Hmm.
Okay, so I think she should have addressed it in the comment section, but I think that blowing it up and making a whole diabolical situation was a bit much for me. Um,
Hmm.
I think that when you give trolls attention like that,
Yeah.
it just fuel to their fire, and they'll be
Yes.
back, to troll you again.
Yeah.
Maybe. I think she may be pregnant and emotional. So she, in her, when she's not hormonal, she might not have responded in such a um, long-winded, dramatic, to me, I believe,
Hmm.
long-winded and dramatic, response. But at the end of
Hmm.
the day, yes, in the comment section, blowing it up, making a post.
Yeah. I wish I could disagree, but I think I have to go with you on this one because, I mean, addressing it in the comment section is, to me, sufficient. I'm not in her shoes, so I can't say what I would or wouldn't do. But I think the fact that she like added extra attention to it, shows that it rubbed her. It really rubbed her, and that's giving the commenter or whatever the person more power, to feel like, hey, I got under her skin.
My opinion matters.
Yeah, my opinion matters, so I think again that as a public figure, that you have to have the discernment to know that certain things that you put out there is going to elicit a certain kind of energy. And I think that if you are promoting, knowing your words, not giving into a man, not, like being this girl who got it all together and everything, then I mean that's the persona that you put out. So you gotta keep that up. But hey, listen, we're humans, stuff happens. Um, but hey, I don't want to be too judgmental here because again, I did put out the disclaimer that it's a non-judgmental zone, but I'm free to give my personal opinion too. So um,
I would almost say, was she waiting for a comment like this to just fire your back?
right, exactly. Maybe she used that as a way to explain herself too.
Exactly. That's another perspective of it.
Right, right. Um, but she owes nobody an explanation, really. But
No, not at all.
she doesn't. But I think she's invested in her community,
Mhm.
and I mean, I have a small community growing, and I know how it feels. I just imagine her because she has like over 43,000 subscribers. So I think that she has like she feels like she owe her subscribers some kind of explanation. She feels somewhat connected to them, and I think that's where it's coming from. I can totally relate to that. Here we have another person commenting, she has the right to stand up for herself, but as an influencer, I think she should have let it slide. She signed up for this when she posted about her personal life. Yeah, I think I want to agree with that too. Absolutely. So the next question is, should she have posted? Okay, we moved past that already. Um, Okay, so in one of her responses to the very same comment, she asked the person was kind of like avoiding the question. She asked the question, should I have aborted?
Mhm.
Right? She
Right.
she was like, okay, so yes, I got pregnant, what did you want me to do?
Well,
Did
I'm
you
gonna
want
say
me
this.
to
What was important in that comment that I will say and I will give her credit for is that she said, "So you want me to abort my baby because I got pregnant on birth control?" Which
right?
that is a good point to
Mm-hmm.
take precautions. So I think that part of the question was important.
But I'm gonna play devil's advocate because I like doing that. I I realize that a lot of women are saying that they got pregnant on the birth control, and I'm listen. I'm not saying that you know
This case,
there's no truth. I'm not accusing anybody of anything. I'm just generally saying that I find that a lot of women, when they do get pregnant in a situation like this, they tend to say that they get pregnant on the pill, and it begs me to wonder, is the pill even effective?
absolutely.
You
Um,
know, is it effective? Because based on research, when I go to my OBGYN, they say the pill is 99% effective. So is it that these women are just the 1% unfortunate few, or is there some kind of cover up? because
And I'll also take this into account what you're saying. So if you miss a pill or two, you have to think about, okay, what does that lapse in the pill and that chemical balance, hormonal balance, how does
mm,
it affect you? So it could be that as well. It's a very touchy subject
very
because
touchy.
because
Absolutely.
mhm,
Um, listen, we're all women, and we all go through these type of struggles. We have our partners, and we want to make sure that we are enjoying ourselves with our partners, but at the same time, we are protecting ourselves if we're not ready to start a family. And to be honest, do I want to say it's a delicate balance? I think it kind of is, because for me, I don't take birth controls because I don't like, I'm so natural, like I do not want to contaminate my body. And my partner or previous partners know that I don't take those stuff because I think it's poisonous, and I'm already a very like thick woman, so my weight, I gotta be watching my weight, and these things can blow you up. But if I don't take the birth control, and if I don't believe in birth control, what is going to be my other method of protection against getting pregnant? So you got to have these conversations. And I think what happened too is she did announce that she has PCOS, which is like a, what you say, like polycystic ovarian syndrome, which makes it harder for you to get pregnant. So I think it could be a possibility that she kind of just like relaxed a little bit, thinking that, hey, I have this syndrome, I don't think I can get pregnant, so whatever. And also, even though if you're on the pill, you still want to practice the withdrawal method. I would do that as a supplement to the birth, but then in the heat of the moment, hey, stuff happens. So, and I think it's especially harder for women who have inconsistent periods. It's very hard for those type of women. So at the end of the day, we still gotta be fair. We gotta be fair. Okay, moving on to the other question. Um, what lessons do we think we could learn from? Okay, let me read this comment. Not that the commenter was right to comment like that, but it's kind of to be expected. Yeah, it is to be expected. It
yep.
definitely is to be expected. I okay, let me ask this question. This is off the books.
Okay.
Do you tell me, Megan, do you think that the guy that she's talking to, I don't know if, did you get to see the video with them?
Wow.
No, okay, that's fine. Do you think that he should have proposed to her before the big unveiling?
Well, whatever works for them two, that is their life decisions. Okay, so I just want to make that very clear.
Yes.
I'm saying for me, and I make this very clear to my boyfriend now.
Mm-hmm.
If it was a situation where I was to, become pregnant without marriage, that would be extremely unfortunate. But I
Mm-hmm.
made it very clear to him that if that was the situation, we
Mm-hmm.
need to get married that day when I find out. Or the next, we need to be at the courthouse.
I like it. Yes. Okay.
We don't need a wedding at that point. We can do a wedding after I have the baby and we buy a home and we have the home
Mm-hmm.
decorated. We can do it then. But we need to be married before this child is born into this world, period. The child needs to come into this world under normalcy. Like, it's no other way. And if and I think that being so upfront like that really lets a man know what you expect from him. There's no guessing. This is something we talked about as soon as we, became intimate. It's not something he had to guess about. So yeah, no, we would have been at the courthouse that day.
Exactly. And I think that it's good to let your position to be known from the get-go, because the moment you decide to go into a sexual relationship with somebody, it comes with responsibilities. Like, there's no way you could be having sex and not think about the possibility of getting pregnant, whether you're on pill, whether you're using condom, because none of these things are foolproof, right? So these conversations has to be had, as any responsible, mature adult. So I share the same sentiments with you. I don't know if that's why we connect like this, because we tend to agree on a lot of things. And I
Childbirth
agree. Yes. Hmm.
childbirth is a near death experience.
Thank you.
You can't commit to me for life. Why would I have a near death experience for I could possibly die, but
Yeah.
you can commit to me
Yeah.
saying, hey, no, absolutely
Yeah.
not.
I agree. And listen, let's be clear, because you're gonna have persons who say, well, hey, um, marriage is just a piece of paper. It doesn't mean anything, because you're gonna have those persons who are not for marriage. They don't believe it's necessary. But why I believe it's necessary is it shows that both of you are committed, right? Because you can be committed without the actual document, but at the same time you want to make sure that you protect your union, right? And just like everything else, you go to school for 5 years, you don't just leave college or university with nothing in hand. You get something to show that this is what you've done. If you're going to practice whatever you're going to practice, you get some kind of license, some kind of certificate. Like, this is what it is, right? So I think that if a man is really serious about a woman, he would not hesitate to do the right thing, which is to let it be known to the world and to himself and the woman that I'm all in. I'm all in, because, and then it depends on, what's your concept on life. What do you believe in? Because this is our belief, but we have to understand that there are other people who don't subscribe to the traditional views on raising a family. But let's face it, we're in a society where laws are in place, and you can find yourself in a disadvantageous position if you don't protect yourself legally. So I believe that marriage is important, not just from a spiritual standpoint, but from a legal standpoint. You want to protect your offspring and protect your legacy in the event that something were to happen to you, as the father, as the man. So let me see, do we have any other comments? No. Okay. Question. Well, I have another question on this topic. Hold on. Okay. Megan, you feel free to, add your 2 cents on anything at all pertaining to BTaylor. Um,
I do think she's a beautiful girl. I think that she's probably intelligent.
yeah.
I really do think that she she in my mind, when you
Mm-hmm.
go into situations as such as having children without marriage,
Mm-hmm.
as long as you understand the ramifications and
Right.
all possible outcomes that could happen. He could walk away once she has the baby. He could marry her when she has the baby. um he could have another child with someone else when she has her child. So long as you understand the consequences to both of you guys' actions, and if you understand the person you're with, she should make the best decision for herself. um
Exactly.
our ideas are just our ideas. This is not even necessarily about BTaylor. This is just about using her as a talking point. This is not to shame her and her decision at all.
Okay, so here we have a question from Just Call Me Safi. Hey, question. What if the woman is hesitant? Hesitant of what? Hesitant of getting married? Hesitant of having a child? What? Just clarify that for me,
Yeah.
please. Here's my thing on it too. We live in the Western world, right? And Western culture is kind of standard. You're gonna have those a few persons who are deviate from the norm, but generally, we still expect to be married. Am I not right? Women want to still be married. The vast majority of women want to be married, I would say.
But I would say this:
Yeah,
what do they want from marriage?
exactly. Why are they getting married? What is it that they're looking for? And it varies. It
That's
varies from individual.
Right.
Hey, Shana. Thanks for joining, guys. Here, my girls coming in. Right. So, just call me Safi is saying, what if the woman is hesitant to be married? So
Okay.
sometimes that's good because we automatically assume that is the guy who don't want to marry the woman, but sometimes it could be the reverse, where it's actually the woman who is not ready for marriage. That's another spin on it.
So I think that that goes back to the woman deciding what's going to be best for her and understanding the outcomes of keeping a child with a man that's not her husband, understanding that you may end up, well, technically you are a single mother when you are having a child and you're not married. But I
Exactly.
also would believe that, okay, even if you and your boyfriend are together and
Mhm.
you guys have a child and you're not married, just understand that at any time he wants, he owes you nothing. He can just go.
Yeah,
And
but who are you making these decisions for, though? Because if you become pregnant, you no longer can just think independently. I think just by yourself. Like you have to be making decisions that's going to affect or impact your offspring. And I'm just like thinking, like, if a woman is hesitant to be married after finding out that she's pregnant, it could possibly mean that she was, just hitting it with this guy. She didn't see a future with him. She was just like, having fun, and uh they slip up. So in that case, you gotta take ability, you gotta be responsible, and you gotta do the right thing. I mean, then again, is it fair to say that, hey, listen, I'm having sex and I'm on the pill, I'm protecting myself, and boom, I
yeah.
get pregnant accidentally? Is it fair to say that because I'm no, um, a child is inside of me, is it sufficient to want to marry somebody if you didn't have any intentions of marrying them outside of the baby? Is that a fair thing to do?
Are you asking me?
Just, yeah, you can answer, just like to
I
the
do
viewers
understand.
as well.
At that point, it's not about you. It's about your child growing up in a household that is functional,
Yeah.
that has two parents to support
Mhm.
them, two sources of income, two two people to supervise them, you know,
Mhm.
and to have that male female balance. So for me, at that
Mhm.
point, if the
Mhm.
man wants to marry me, is it something? If I'm not 100% sure, will I take my time and really think things through and make sure this is something I want to do? Absolutely, but
Mhm.
you have to, at that point you have to think a little selfless, and so
Yeah.
and I would say this, if if you have to think that hard, your picker is bad. As a woman, your picker is bad because you should never, me honestly, I don't entertain men that I do not like, period.
Yeah.
I don't.
Point blank period. Yeah.
Me with you, I'm not answering your phone calls. I'm not going around you, and I'm definitely not allowing you have access to my body. Not
Mhm.
I don't move like that on purpose to avoid situations like this. Any man
Right.
who has access to my body,
Yeah.
literally, I'm probably in love with them.
Of course, absolutely. I share the same sentiment. We have a comment here from CKQ podcast. Hey, CKQ, what's up? What's up? That's my brother right there. Okay, so his comment is, that's why shotgun wedding existed. It's not about the two people once a child. Thank you. That leads me to my next question. Which basically what I was going to ask is, do you believe that the guy involved should have just like put a ring on it, propose to her, just go down to the city hall, get married the moment he learns that this woman is carrying his seed? And I'm gonna interject right here. I watched the intro video of the both of them because the very first video she did with him, he was talking about God and he sounded like, listen to me, honey. When I was listening to that guy, I was like, go sis, yes, you got your real one. Like he was very impressive. He sounded grounded. He sounded like he was a believer, God fearing, and he really appeared to have our best interest. I was impressed. And from what I saw in that video, the impression I got of him is that he's from some kind of Christian background because he's talking about God and all these things. Now, if you're from a Christian background, you obviously going to be subscribed to the Christian principles.
Right.
And the Christian principle and the Christian teaching says that marriage, before kids. That's the principle. So I'm just wondering if he's so in love with her, right? If they are sure of each other as they project, the moment you become pregnant, why would it not be instinctual for the both of you to walk down to the city hall, sign, seal, and deliver it? And then if in the future you want to have a big shebang, okay, fine. But, given the fact that, you've been advocating for knowing your word, doing the right thing, yada, yada, yada. Personally, this is what I would do. But I'm not saying that she's wrong for doing what she did, but I'm going to give my personal opinion.
Yeah.
If it were me, I would owe nobody an explanation. As much as how I'm invested in my YouTube and I love my family and my community and whatever, but at the same time, there has to be a line.
Absolutely.
There has to be a line. You cannot put everything out there. Oh my God, you got to have something reserved for yourself. So what I would do, and I'm not doing this for nobody, I'm doing this because this is what I believe in. This is my principle. I would, go down to the city hall, get it done, do a little proposal, something, and just do it the right way, so it's more tasteful in the mouths of others too, because we have a reputation to uphold as well. Okay, enough talking on myself. Let me see if I have another comment here. But yeah,
I would say, oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
what?
So I was gonna say that I would even take it a step further. I didn't see the video what you saw about him being a Christian, and all that stuff. So that's I think that's really good. Me personally, I have a hard time. I would say I'm not. I'll get into that. We can get into that in another video. But I'll just say that someone who have steps with their Christianity and practicing what they preach, I'm very wary of, especially people who are on YouTube and stuff like that. I'm very wary. You see a lot of the times men who say they're Christians and they're out there, they you've seen some things, unwind and they're not true to their words.
Right.
But I would go a step further when you said that if he believes in Christianity and he's a spiritual guy, he should marry her. Well, shouldn't they have been wedded before they had sex?
Yeah.
So, not, and I know this is, trust me, the best of the Christians don't necessarily follow everything the Bible says, but I'm just putting it out there. And I also wanted to mention that I did see the video where she talked about her becoming pregnant, how it happened. She said he was so excited, right? Back around to come to her.
Yeah, I saw that too.
Yeah. Well, he should have turned back around and took her to the courthouse.
Exactly.
So excited.
That's what's up. Because listen, you know my position, and I'm a feminist, and I believe the men are providers and protectors, right? And a true man operating in his masculine is gonna want to protect his woman, and protecting your woman is not just limited to, if somebody breaks in the house, I'm gonna be the first in line of defense, first line of defense. No, it doesn't necessarily mean that. It means you're gonna protect her spiritually, emotionally, mentally, physically. And not to bash him, I'm not bashing him, I don't know what their story is, but I'm just saying, she's a YouTuber, she's out there, she's an influencer, what she represents online. And it just says to me that if you allow her to go out there like that, people are going to come for her. And you should have the discernment to say, hey, I'm not going to put my baby through that. I'm not going to put her through that. I'm going to make sure that she steps out in confidence, right? And I can tell you, no woman who believes in Christianity or is from a Christian background or belief is going to be confident knowing that she got pregnant without a ring.
Right.
I'm that's straight up. We can pussyfoot around it all we want. That's what it is. Okay.
Okay.
And I think that he was not really protecting her in that regard.
So let's say
Yeah.
that he proposes, right?
He
And
poses. It seems highly hypocritical to me, Megan, because when I watched the video with him, he was talking about God and all these things, and he seemed like a real true Christian, like a real believer. And let's face it, not like you said, I agree. Not all Christians are practicing sex before marriage. Well, sex after marriage, rather.
right, right.
And I'm not here to judge nobody. I mean, to each his own, because the whole fornication thing is highly debatable, and I can get into that later on. Um, but it to me, I think what is happening to BTaylor right now is a classic Derek Jackson situation.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking about.
All
Yes.
right, we have another comment. If we have modern men and women with modern views, can we say that it is the modern Christianity, or should religion be traditional? You want to take a shot at that, Megan?
I'll listen to you first. I'm not really.
Okay.
That's
All
a good.
right. So since you're throwing me in the line of fire, all right, no problem.
Mhm.
Um, listen, modern Christianity, I don't know about that one, because you are trying to reinvent the wheel here. That's pretty much, and not you, CKQ, but somebody who, would think like that. You're trying to reinvent the wheel. Christianity stands. You cannot dilute Christianity. You cannot mold it into what you want it to be, right? So I don't know about modern day Christianity. The rules are set. It is what it is. Or should religion be traditional? I really don't know how to respond to that. I mean, you see, this is the thing, and I was having this conversation with a very good friend of mine last night, Mario M3. If you're here, big up yourself. We were talking about this very same thing, and I think what is happening is that a lot of people are lost. Our generation is lost because we have taken on for ourselves, finisher, executor, and everything. We are the be all end all. We have no foundation. We have no base, and we live in a very fluid society, and that is why there's so much chaos, because we are not grounded. We don't believe in anything, and we have to believe in something. We can't take on to ourselves and say, okay, this is what we're going to do because you said so.
Yeah.
What makes it right, what makes it wrong, like, it's like we're throwing morals through the window. No, morals don't exist anymore, and that is why we're so miserable, and that's why we're the way we are.
I
All
think
right.
that could definitely contributes to the dysfunction of society just in general,
Exactly.
because we don't operate and it's not about it being traditional. We no longer operate in what is logical. And to me, once we have stepped away from making logical, sound decisions, and the need to do that, because the modernization of our society, our country, has
Yes.
allowed us to uh, just remember the importance of a family structure. Like, we no longer understand what our previous generations went through and why they needed and they relied on having a family construct. And
We have another comment here. Absolutely, I agree with you, Megan. And hold on, let me read this one. I would say you're a feminist, but more feminine. Okay, feminists have the mindset of wanting to be. Okay, thank you for that correction, M3. Definitely, like, oh my God, that was blasphemy just now, because I don't want to have anything to associate with the feminist movement
me
at
either.
all. It is destructive, it is toxic, it is damaging, and I don't want to have anything to do with it. So thank you for
Yeah,
that, M3. Definitely a feminine woman. So that's what I should say, a feminine woman.
yeah.
Um, so what was I gonna say? I lost my chain of thoughts.
It's
But
okay.
you were talking about fate and all these things, and how fate plays a role in how we operate in society. And
Absolutely.
we have I'm just enjoying this conversation so much. I'm like really loving it, and I think a lot of people are gonna benefit from this live, Megan. A lot of people are gonna benefit. Um, with the whole marriage before kids, and it's highly debatable and it's polarizing. But I personally think that marriage is not a piece of paper. I think the wedding and the signing of the marriage license is more a symbolic event, right? But we still need it because it's a declaration to yourself, God, and man, that you have chosen this person. You're not ashamed. You're not ashamed to say, hey, this is the person I've chosen to spend the rest of my life with, right? So it's a symbolic event.
And there are benefits of marriage.
And absolutely.
There are benefits of marriage. It's just, I think every person that is dating seriously should just ask themselves, what are the reasons I want to be married? What
Yes.
are the benefits out of me getting married to this person? And for
Mm-hmm.
me, my number one thing that I think about when I think about getting married is I want to be married to a man that is um the leader, a man that will provide and take care of me, and I can turn around and do that for our children.
Yes. Yes.
So to me, that's what I'm looking for. And I think that any woman, whenever you're dating, you should automatically know what you're dating for. Have a purpose.
Yes.
Understand what you want out of marriage and vocalize that. And speak right.
Absolutely.
Don't let anyone tell you anything, way you different. And if a man is
Mhm.
not willing and isn't able to communicate with you about marriage, he's clearly not interested.
Yeah. Yeah. And you gotta, like you said, absolutely agree with you. Date with purpose.
Absolutely.
Date with purpose. If you are seeing somebody, getting to know somebody, you should be committed to knowing as much about the person as possible in the fastest space of time so
Yeah.
you can determine if this is somebody you want to go forward with. We're not in the business of wasting time, right? This is not child's play,
Right.
okay? Mature, grounded individuals know what they're about, right? You
Absolutely.
have to go into dating to be intentional and to be purposeful. And you got to dot all your I's and cross all your T's. You got to know what you're doing, right? You can't be winging it. Not at this stage. And I'm not saying there aren't a time and place for this, because listen, we need experience and we're going to buck our feet along the way. We're going to have issues. But there comes a time when you got to say, hey, listen, it's time to pull up my socks and get serious.
And you know what I want to add to this conversation? Women have to stop thinking men don't know what they want. Men know what they want before they even talk to you. So if you
Yeah.
allow a man to let you think that he is confused, men are a good man.
They're just buying time. Trust me, they're buying time.
They're buying
They're,
time.
yeah, they're just buying time. Girl, girl.
A man, when a man sees the woman he wants, you get all his time. If he's not
Yes,
working, if he's
yes.
not working or doing community things in the community, if you're not, sis, he know what he want already. And
Mm-hmm.
the one night stand, or the girl I call after 10, or the girl I
Mm-hmm.
call when I leave the club, or whatever the case may be, trust me,
Mm-hmm.
this man already knows what his intentions are. So
Right.
that's why if you are serious, you let a man know as soon as possible, and
Mm-hmm.
you stand by it, because when he sees that you're serious about whatever you're talking about and he doesn't like it, he will leave you
He
alone.
will leave. Oh my God,
He
you
will
are
leave you alone.
preaching. You are
He will
listen
leave you
to me.
alone. He will be like,
Listen.
"That girl was too much. Every time I see her, she is annoying to me." But if you go
Yes.
around him trying to please him and only talking about the things that he wants to talk about, um,
Mm-hmm.
you will be forever that fun girl. And if you
Yeah.
want to be a fun girl, enjoy yourself. But I am looking to be a wife. I'm
Yeah.
looking to be in a committed relationship. Um,
Mm-hmm.
so you're going to hear about that. That's going to be a constant topic with me.
Absolutely. All right, so we're going to move into the more general questions. We've spoken about BTaylor. We've given our 2 cents on that. We're going to just like open the floor now for persons to join if they want to step up to the stage. Question: Are you settling? Women, are we settling? Do you think we're settling as women? Um, Megan, go for it.
Are we settling as far as like
As
marriage?
it relates to just in our relationships, are we settling for having kids outside of wedlock? because we realize that men are not, they're not marrying us, and we don't want to be alone, so we just settle. What you think?
I think that, yeah, sure, some women settle, absolutely, and some women don't. But I think that, we do have a biological clock, right? So
Mm-hmm.
if you were like 35, 37, 38, 39, 40, and you are pregnant and you decide, hey, I'm just out of wedlock, and I just want to keep my child because I may never have this opportunity again. I feel
Mm-hmm.
like you're not, that is kind of settling, and not to say
Out of
that,
fear. You're settling out of fear.
yeah, and it's not that it's wrong, but it's still a form of settling because you maybe didn't. I'm not going to say you didn't do what you need to fulfill
Mm-hmm.
your needs as far as finding a man that you wanted to have a child with.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I would say that you having a child and you're saying like, okay, the circumstances is I may never have this opportunity again. And
Mm-hmm.
B. Taylor did speak about that, but I feel as though that's a form of settling. So yes, some women are settling.
Yeah, I agree, and I think a lot more women are settling now than in times before. There is a statistic out there. I can't remember the source, but it says that between 1990 to 2016, there has been a 28% increase in unwed pregnancies, right? And guess which race is leading the polls?
Yeah.
Right. So there is an increase. There is a tolerance, more tolerance for women having um, children outside of wedlock. That's why, I had the caption, "Are we normalizing it?" And what accounts for this? What? Why is it that we are having more children outside of wedlock? We as women are playing a role in that, I believe, and I think it's because we're now accepting to be baby mamas and not wives.
Yeah. And I will also say that there was a turning point where it was incentivized for families to be a family. Like it was better if the woman is a single mother, she's pregnant, she gets so much assistance, where she really doesn't need her husband anymore. It almost makes sense for him to leave the family and for her to live separate from him because there is so much assistance for a woman to be in her own home,
Mhm.
of her own children with no man. And so at that
Mhm.
point, it became okay. I can have as many children as I want out of well, like I'll get more and more assistance. I'm able to not work. I'm
Yes.
able to get everything I need, and I don't have to answer to a man. I don't have to cater to a man. It's so much
Mhm.
for some women to just be a baby mama, and it works for some women as far as them having the lifestyle that they want.
Mhm. Yes, I agree. Unfortunately, there's too many of them than wives. Right. And you are so right. And I'm so happy you touched on the welfare program because I'm not sure if you saw my story yesterday, but I did speak on this. I was like, what is causing the rift between the Black community? What's really causing it? And I said, you know what? I think the welfare program could have played a major role in the breakdown in the Black community between men, women and men. And I really don't know, because guess what, some persons are going to say, hey, we blame the government, and that's a plausible argument. But then there's also on the other side where you could blame the women because nobody forced them to do anything. They made the choice on their own to take the grants, to take the assistance from the government over keeping the family together. So they chose, I mean, basically they chose money over the family structure. So who is to be blamed? Are we going to blame the government? The government didn't force us to do anything. We made that choice independently, you know? But then again, I mean, when you are in a desperate situation and you have mouth to feed, what are you going to do?
Absolutely.
It's a really sad situation, it's
In
a
a
really sad
moment,
situation.
you do become married and you become a household with two, and you know your husband is working, you're working. Now all of a sudden you can't qualify for these assistance programs.
Yes.
So now you lose all the assistance you had that maybe really mattered to that person. And so it's like you can't really get married. You can't get remarried unless you have a man that can really provide and afford, that coverage that the government had provided for that woman. So it's a really tricky situation, and I think that everyone plays their part. I think men need to pick better. You if you're dealing with a baby mama and you're having, even if you're having protected sex, you have to understand that this woman already has said, I don't need to be married to have a
Mhm,
child. So you as a man have to understand that, hey, I might be baby daddy number two for her. So
mhm,
I think as a woman, if you're dealing with a man and he already has a child, you have to understand that you might be baby mama number two. So
mhm.
they both have to take, both sexes have to take
Absolutely,
accountability.
absolutely. And I think that, again, I believe in accountability. You know, I'm big on accountability, and I see where the government might had good intentions. They're trying to help the marginalized persons in the society, people who genuinely, just is living below the poverty line or just on the poverty line, in unwed situations, and need help. Single moms who genuinely need help. And thank God for America, because a lot of other countries would love to have those type of benefits available to them, right? So we cannot blame the government, even whether the intention was good or bad. I do not believe in blaming another party for our shortcomings, because you could still keep your family together. But what happened is that a lot of persons are abusing the system. They want to milk the system. So they say, okay, hey, if I can get some extra help from the government, but I just got to make sure that I don't got a man, or I don't have a husband, or I don't got a man living in the house with me. And you choose to take that route solely on the basis of getting government assistance.
Yeah.
Whose fault is that? That's not the government's fault. That's your fault, because you're greedy and you want handouts, right? So I mean, I'm being a little harsh, but
No,
that's
no,
just
no.
how I look at it.
I think it makes sense though. And I will say that there's some of these programs you cannot qualify for.
Hmm.
Let me back up. I would say that the government, I get what I do agree with what you said, majority of it, but I would say that if the government was necessarily acting in good faith, right? I
Hmm.
would say that why does some programs call for women to put these men on child support to get these benefits? Because child support it trickles down into a whole legal ramification if that man doesn't make, that child support payment. And so that puts him in a bind when the woman is just supposed to be getting help, assistance, but you're requiring that she has to put her.
Because no, and I'm going to defend the government right here. The government wants, listen, they're safeguarding themselves. It's just like an investment. You're going to put certain parameters in place to protect your investment. These are not loans that you're going to get an interest. The government's not getting any interest from this. This is free money that they're giving you, so they want to ensure that you're not abusing it and you genuinely are in need, right? So I think that we as the black race have to take accountability for the fact that we are sellouts.
So
We have a sellout mentality.
I want to push back just a little bit. So
Sure, I welcome it, because we've been agreeing all evening.
yeah, so my outlook on that is okay. So what are we doing to hold the mother accountable at that point? Why is she eligible for a program until her children are 18, or until she gets a job or whatever? It needs to be a time frame put on that, because at that point it is sort of, to me, like
Hmm.
a it's a freebie. There's no I need you to become serious. I need you to become employed. These programs are endless until the child is grown up and they move out.
So it
So
promotes complacency. You're saying pretty much.
I'm sorry.
It promotes complacency.
Absolutely.
I
Absolutely.
agree with that too. There has to be a limit.
There has
Um,
to be a limit. Like you said, they take advantage of these programs, and
yeah.
it's never ending. As long as you keep having a child after child after child, you extending out, your living assistance and all that type of stuff. So I feel like if you're going to hold the man accountable by him having to be on child support, which to me, I work in the government, so I see men literally. permanently
Mm-hmm.
scarred by child support orders,
Yeah.
and women are just sitting back at home eating bonbons on the sofa.
Mm-hmm.
Why? No, absolutely not. They, yeah,
Like it's a sensitive
yeah.
topic. It's very sensitive, and like I said, I hold the view that one needs to be accountable for their own actions, and I will stand behind that completely. I'm not saying that we are not products of our environment, and if we grow up seeing um, grandma and mommy living this particular life, you're gonna think automatically that it's okay, it's normal. And until you are exposed to another way of life, you're gonna continue to see this as just what it is, normal. Um, so it's delicate. It's a very delicate situation, but I still think it's just like us blaming slavery for every ill in society, right? And I don't want to get too political with this thing, but there has to come. It has to come to a point where we introspect and we say to ourselves that, hey, we have done enough damage to ourselves as a people, and it's now time for us to turn things around. We have enough resources, we have enough intellectual people. Look at Obama. Like, he was the first black president, so it shows that we are capable people. So why is it that we can't get it together up to this point? And I think it's because we have a victim mentality, and we just have start in real work. So okay, let's move on to the next question. I don't want to stray too much. We have a comment here from Knowledge and Relationships. It's not that I have a problem with baby mamas, but I have a problem when it's more glorified by our community over marriage. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I did a video about this, bringing back standards. Like, we have to bring back standards in appearance. We have to bring back standards in the form of how we communicate, and we have to bring
Yes.
back standards as far as like our relationships and what we deem as uh, conducive for the black community. Like, we have to say, okay, we're no longer accepting hot girl summer kind of mentality. But men have to hold women accountable, but we also as women have to hold men accountable. Like, we have to say, the way this guy's moving, no one deals with him. He's off
Yeah.
limits. We don't
Yeah.
like it. And men have to do the same thing. But people are so caught up in the be yourself, love yourself, be free, do what makes you happy, when that's not really necessarily always conducive. That's like telling a fool, continue to be a fool. We
Yeah.
You just being yourself.
Absolutely.
No, it doesn't work like that. We have to
Um,
we have to hold that fool accountable.
You have to, absolutely. Guys, do you have any question on this topic? Let me talk a little bit about fornication, right? And I'm not a traditional diehard Christian, that's just like into like religion and stuff like that. Because I see religion just like politics, it has a motive behind it, and it's to keep people in captivity, pretty much, to control people. But there are certain principles that I hold on to, and I think that a man has to show some form of commitment before I, like you said, offer my life as a sacrifice, because getting pregnant is no joke, right? You can die from this. And I don't think there is a lot of information like readily available to the public on what you call that, no, maternal deaths. It is a hush hush topic. There is a lot of people, a lot of women rather, especially in the black community, who
Yes.
are dying from um, what you call that, no,
During childbirth,
childbirth.
we have higher
Exactly.
rates. We do with mortality.
Right. Exactly. So, I mean, at the end of the day, it's all fun and games when you're enjoying yourself in ecstasy, but you gotta think beyond that 20, 30, however long you go for, the consequences of your actions. And I mean, I ain't no saint, but at at some point you gotta like say, hey, I gotta get serious with my life. I gotta get serious with my life. This is not a joke anymore. This can be a life and or death situation. And I personally have held the view that I will not have children until I'm married. Until somebody is willing to take me serious enough to take that step with me, because we all know what marriage is. We all know that it's a commitment. It is telling the world that this is your person. It's a big deal for us. I don't know why, because in the white community it's not that big of a deal. Marriage is not that big of a deal. I have white friends, I know white people. It's not that. We black people take marriage like, oh my god, it's like a death sentence. In the
White
white community it's not.
white women will get divorced and remarried in 1 year, six
Yes,
months.
exactly.
And they
Yes.
do it 3 or 4 times. It's not like once. Oh, they get married when they're never really unmarried. I mean, I'm for a certain income of a woman, white women, but white women are they are able to be remarried as soon as they feel they are ready to get
Yeah.
remarried.
They
They
don't waste no time. They don't waste no time. So we have to get to a point where we love our woman enough, and women loving themselves enough to demand better, and to expect better for ourselves and stop settling.
and men
Because
are going to be selfless.
yeah, you gotta be selfless, because this is what's gonna happen.
Yeah,
You become sexually active with a guy that you're dating. Oops, got pregnant on the pill, have a baby. For some reason, he leaves. Things don't work out. There's no commitment really, so he don't feel obligated to stay. He's not tied in. He's not locked in. He can walk away anytime. He walks away. You go into another relationship, get pregnant again, and before you know it, you have 2, 3, 4 kids by 2, 3, 4 different fathers. You are without a doubt putting yourself in a very disadvantageous position, both to in the dating world, financially, emotionally. You're putting strain on yourself. So why not just get it right from the jump? Just get it right from the start, because I'm telling you, it's easy to continue a pattern once you've started. So I'm all for that. I'm definitely all for that. We are an hour and 17 minutes in. I'm gonna.
I feel like it.
It does not. Girl, I tell you, I
It's
tell
a
you.
good time. Oh my gosh.
Yes, definitely. Let me ask you. Did you have any question you want to throw out? Like, did you have any questions, Megan? No, because I think I've basically asked all my questions. It's just really up to the persons in the chat room now to
Yeah, I would love to
ask.
they have some questions. That would be
Pamela Galvez. Then when they get older and the bad example, let me put that on the screen. Then when they get older and the bad example for the sons, and exactly, poor examples. Like, people don't understand the enormous amount of responsibility it takes to be a parent. It's one of the, to me, that's why I have not taken it up as yet, because I
and
don't think I'm ready. I'm
uh,
not psychologically ready. I'm not financially ready. I'm just not ready. And I'm not going to subject a child to come into this world and not be ready to give off myself completely to that child. The child deserves my full attention. He didn't ask to be here.
right. But some people are and this is a generational thing. Some people are born into households where having children is like whatever. So they're just repeating
Yes.
what they've seen
Cycle.
and for me, I did not grow up in a household necessarily where I would say, everything was done right, like what we
Yeah.
agreed. And I
Hmm.
would say that though that didn't deter me from seeing what the struggles of people around me went through and saying, oh no, I don't want that. So you
Yeah.
have to be reflective and be introspective and learn from other people. You don't necessarily have to
Have
wait
to
until
go through it.
it's late and you're like, dang, I should have did that difference.
Yeah.
Be introspective and think independently.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I agree with you 100%, Megan. Um, so I am okay. We have another comment here. And then that responsibility falls. This is from Pamela Galvez. And then that responsibility falls on the children, and it's not fair to make it difficult to prosper. Yeah, it makes it difficult for the children to prosper because then they got to start from scratch. There's no foundation, and I think that's one of the reasons why the Black community continues to struggle, because the family is in shambles. There's no generational wealth being passed on to our children, or each of us have to start from scratch, and we have to stop that. And how we stop that, in my honest estimation, I think that it starts with loving ourselves, one, having better selection in mating,
Yeah.
and rebuilding the family means having the institution of marriage in place. We got to go back to the drawing board.
Yes, absolutely.
um yeah, so thank you for addressing this. Absolutely, this is one of my passions. This is one of my yeah, this is definitely one of my passions, and thank you for commenting, Camilla. um do you have any final thoughts on this before we go? Because I did say I wanted to keep it between
I know we went over. I know.
minutes.
So I guess my final thought is, ladies, operate in a way that you would say, okay, if this is if I take yourself out of it and say, if my child was doing this, is this something I would want for her? Is this how I would want for her to move? If these are opportunities that I would want her to pass up and to put herself at a disadvantage by having children out of wedlock, more than likely you would say no. So just move that way and stop thinking that you have to settle to just get what you want, So be conscious, think independently, be introspective, be flexible, be open, be willing to learn as well, and get out here and really talk to other women. Like I said, when I saw her, I said, I want to have a conversation with her, have maybe build some sisterhood. So just don't hold yourself off to just men. Get out here and talk to women and learn about relationships.
Yeah, absolutely. I love that thought, and I concur with you wholeheartedly on that. Um, I believe in being true to yourself, and before you can be of service to others, you have to service yourself. Everything starts with self. This has been my mantra for the longest while. Work on you. Know what your likes and dislikes are. Know what your passion is. Know what makes you happy. Knows what makes you sad. Date. And listen, ladies, do not turn down a guy because instantaneously you're not attracted to him. No. Give him a try. Go out, talk to people. I have accepted dates. I've gone out on dates that immediately or initially I was not feeling butterflies, but I'm a people person and I want to learn, and I go out and we have a good time, and I learn so much new perspective. Sometimes a lot of these dates turn out to be business acquaintances and friends, and so don't limit yourself. Be very open. Be open to what the universe has in store for you, and work on being a good person. And once you put out that energy will come back to you. If you believe in the law of attraction and manifestation, what you put out comes right back to you. So I definitely believe in that. And what is CKQ saying here? That's fair. Great talk from what I go. Okay. Yeah. So my final thoughts would be that have standards. Have standards. Know what it is you're looking for in a partner, and don't be afraid to ask for it. Don't feel like, because I'm 30 or because I'm 35 or whatever the age might be, I have to settle. You don't have to settle. You don't. That's just a mindset, of fear that has been placed upon us. We deserve the best of the best. And just like Megan said, when dating a guy, let him know what's up. Tell him straight up, this is what I'm about. And if he is for you, he'll stick around. But if he has bad intentions for you, he's gonna run to the hills, because he's gonna be like, nah, I can't deal with you. I can't give you what you want. So just be honest from the get-go, and know what it is that you want, and ask for it. Because you know what I realized too, Megan, and I'm gonna make this really quick. I find that in the black culture is like black women are shamed for wanting the best that there is. You know, it's like we're shamed. It's like we're supposed to struggle. We're supposed to suffer before we experience true love. It doesn't have to be like that. We don't have to suffer. You know, we deserve all that there is, you know, all the good things that are out there for us. So guys, I want to say thank you so much for joining this lovely live, and thank you, Megan, for coming on. Oh my god, you were awesome.
Thank
You
you.
are awesome. Thank you so much. And you wanna just like let the viewers know how they can find you and talk about your YouTube channel as well?
Okay, sure. So if you want to find me on YouTube, my YouTube name is Chatting with Meg. You can find me on YouTube, and that's pretty much where I do all my YouTube videos. I don't my all my videos. I don't really do much on my Instagram, but if you want to follow me on Instagram, you can follow me. My name is Megan underscore Sasha. Um, and I want to say thank you all for having me and tuning in and watching this live. This is my first time doing a live with as a guest or on anyone else's show, YouTube channel. So I'm so grateful and thank you for having me.
I had such a great time having you, and I look forward to having many more discussions like these going forward with yourself and anybody else who is watching this who have something burning and they really want to share it. I am open to inviting you on my platform. You guys can follow me if you're new to this platform on IG as Kacistush, and I'm on YouTube as Kacistush TVC because you're watching this live. And if you want to support the channel, my cash app is the same, Kacistush. And I look forward to growing this community with you guys, and I enjoy this live thoroughly. Thank you guys for watching. Have a great day.
See you guys. Have a
Bye, Megan.
bye. Talk to you later.
Talk to you later.
Bye.
Bye.